your compulsive and also your earnest curiosity, which I think as a symptom, I imagine, of the autism would be overwhelming to some people, but you understand it enough to be charming in it and also see the humor in it. You have enough self-awareness around it that you don't feel uncomfortable with it, and you can make it funny even.
Yeah. It's not only do I not feel uncomfortable with it, when I got the diagnosis, it validated so many things of my past.
Oh my God, if I had known that, I wouldn't have done that.
More so, this is why that, and it's not my fault, or I could understand how to improve upon it.
I've got to go apologize to some teachers.
And ask people who should apologize to me to come on my podcast. But I bring that up because one of the things I learned was how much, and any neurotypical person I'm sure could relate to this, we think something, so we assume the other person thinks it. You are sharing the same point of, if I'm cold, you're cold. If I'm feeling this isn't going well, you are. And
that's not true, though.
Of course, it's not true. But I'm saying that mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Of not recognizing that there's other perspectives. A common symptom of it is of autism is challenging to adapt to certain situations, and an inability or difficulty to recognize that people think differently than you. It's why It's why they get frustrated so often, or why they seem to lack empathy, because
autistic people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I. One of the things that I've been, I guess maybe the biggest thing I've been focusing on, and where this podcast has been such a blessing for me, is being able to ask people, I mean, in a small way, asking you what was the intention behind that joke.
Right.
I would always ask questions like that, but it could seem aggressive. If I were to say, what's your point? Yeah. What do you mean? I was always trying to understand. So when I found these things out, and then I was single and I was dating, I was able to make jokes, but they were very inspired. I smoke weed, and I like to smoke pot when you're on a date, especially if it's somebody who smokes.
Right.
And to be able to say to somebody preemptively,
right,
I get a little goofy, you know, and I sometimes I don't know when I go a little far.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask of you, if you're ever feeling like this is a little bit too much and you don't know how to handle it, give me the benefit of the doubt and just like nudge me.
When did you decide that comedy was somehow the answer for you?
So I was telling you earlier, I didn't know that I didn't pick up on facial cues, and I didn't recognize people's hints when they would say, not today, Rick, I'm busy, to friends. I would just think, oh, he can't today, he's busy, for 3 years, right?
Right.
But something I always did understand was a laugh. I knew a laugh was comfortable because not only is it nice to get a laugh for the obvious reasons, it was one of the few times where I felt confident in being on the same page with somebody. It wasn't just with me making them laugh, if we were laughing together.
Like, what did Harry Shearer say to me? Like, the great thing, the reason people do comedy is you can control why people are laughing at you.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and on a more specific level, you could control how people feel about you for a minute. Because even somebody who doesn't like
you,
a
long laugh, a minute. Maybe you can control it for like 10, 15 seconds, and then you got to keep going.
Yeah, but the dopamine lasts longer than the laugh.
Sure.
Put that on a shirt.
Then the door is open.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then that's why you keep doing it and you seek it, and that's right. It's a vicious
cycle. Eventually, people go like, "Do you always have to be funny?" And then all of a sudden, you're in a different conversation, aren't you?
Yeah. Do you always have to be on? Is the one I get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was shut down. I was trampled by a couple of girlfriends way back with the sort of, because like when you're a comic, it's your profession, so there's sort of like that weird black beltism to it. Like, you know, I'm black belt at getting laughs, but I can't use it in public. I can only do it on stage professionally. But but I don't think it was funny. But I've had girlfriends early on who were like, "Why do you have to talk so much when we're out with Why do you have to domineer the conversation?" It struck me.
What have you figured out since then? Why do you have to?
I don't. I stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the reason it stuck with me, it was correct. And it really wasn't my nature. It was overcompensating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's annoying when people do that.
Be careful of letting other people's definition of your identity distinguish between the difference of overcompensating and just being and compensating. Because she's not wrong, but she might be the wrong person.
It's a long time ago.
I'll speak for me.
I appreciate the advice. I do.
Well, when, I have to find the difference. When somebody thinks I'm being something that they don't like, they're not wrong, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. And that
doesn't mean that it's not me or it's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it could be as simple as like, well, you must not like me.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Now get the fuck out of my house.
But what is the
That was a little aggressive. I apologize.
No, it's okay because it's hypothetical.
Made up person, yeah.
But it's finding that difference. It's knowing when to untangle of this person doesn't like this part of me, but this is who I am. And do I like this who I am?
And also, like, is she right about what I'm doing right now, or is this part of me?
Right.
Because like sometimes when you're with somebody, you're doing something that isn't innately you because you're trying to accommodate them or charm them or impress them.
I get the most uncomfortable when I find myself doing that.
Yeah.
That's a big challenge of podcasting. Sometimes that happens, and at least for me.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say, for better and for worse, I am who I am most of the time. But sometimes I find myself in a situation where I'm either trying for the person, trying for the audience, trying for the post-production animation.
Right.
But when I'm not present and I'm trying something, I catch it. That's when I get embarrassed.
Let's get out of the head for a minute and get into real life. Okay. So we understand how you understood that you liked getting laughs. So where'd you start doing comedy? In Cleveland?
Cleveland, yeah.
And where? Hilarities?
The first stand-up set I did was at the Cleveland Improv, and I was doing improvisation theater as well.
Oh, you were part of a group.
Uh-huh. I was part of theirs. They weren't. I don't know if they would have thought that. I do remember feeling just like a lot of groups. I felt like I was forcing my way in.
So wait, so they were a group, and then they were improvising, and you would just jump in?
They were a team, and they held one. What's that?
Two of them?
There was, I don't know, like 8.
Oh, big.
8 people, one team.
Sure.
And they had they had practices every week.
Yeah.
So they had a performance every week and a practice every week. Yeah. The team did the performances. There were more people, and I was one of the one in the practice.
Yeah.
And I would just, show up and do some improv comedy.
Yeah.
And
but you liked that.
I loved it. Yeah, I did. That was what I was doing for the first 4 or 5 years before stand-up took priority.
And when did you start doing stand-up?
March 4th, 2007.
Like, when did you start wearing the T-shirt about being a paid regular?
Oh, I'm not past at the Comedy Store sweatshirt?
Yeah.
I made that over Thanksgiving.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not past at the Comedy Store was a conversation that happened on one of the episodes, and then people would bring it up. Why isn't he passed or whatever? In nice ways. They were nice things, but it wasn't an identity of mine by any means.
It's sort of a joke shirt.
Yeah, but then it was like, everybody isn't passed somewhere. They have their hurdles or obstacles.
But here in this town, the weird sort of like being passed at the Comedy Store. It's like the Cellar. It's like getting passed at the Cellar in New York.
Yeah.
Like there's like,
There's 2 types of comedians.
Yeah. Passed at the Cellar, not passed. Yeah. Passed at the store, not passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're passed?
Yeah,
do you want to come do my podcast? Hey, you should get Rick Glassman on it. Is he passed at the
store? Is he?
I don't know. Why is he funny?
I don't know what his status at the store is. I think he does bringer shows.
Yeah, there's a stigma. There's a stigma to doing bringer shows, and then there's a stigma to not being passed.
But what about the alt scene? You weren't part of the alt scene?
I'm not. I don't know if I'm being hard on myself, but I don't know if I'm part of any scene. I just, I got on a television show a few years ago, and it was.
How did he find you?
Who's he?
Bill.
The Improv.
Bill Lawrence found you at the Improv.
Yeah.
You were doing stand-up.
I was doing a Will Smith impression.
And this was, like, for those people who don't know who I'm talking to, it's Rick Glassman. I'm resetting like we're on radio.
You, yeah.
Welcome back. Rick Glassman is my guest, and you might have known him. He was on the show Undateable, which was on for 3 seasons? Mm-hmm. 3 seasons, then canceled for reasons that a lot of people don't understand.
Cut to a clip of us just having a meltdown on set. Just racist meltdown. Yeah, Bill saw me on
a racist meltdown.
Yeah, I feel like if I
see. That's a joke. That didn't really happen.
No, like just to say why would no one knows why I got canceled. Cut to just
it got canceled for the reason everything gets canceled. Not enough people were watching it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But it was you and Dalia and Funches and
Brent
Moran.
Yeah.
Moran. Yeah.
Yeah. Bill saw me. I was doing some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, "I like how comfortable you are in uncomfortable moments." And
that's sort of your place. That's your thing. That's your hook.
Yeah. Is that an anti-Semitic remark?
No, not at all. Have nothing to do with your nose. Okay. We have more to do with that's what you're known for. hey, man, I just made everything uncomfortable, but I'm going to sit in it for a while and make you guys love me.
Yeah, that's the way where the podcast has helped me is I never wanted to make people uncomfortable. That's just a symptom of the joke.
Is that true, though?
Yeah, 100%. I always want people to be in on it with me. I just can't wink to them and say, hey, because then it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, but that goes back to this sort of idea that everybody sort of knows where you're at.
Yeah, that's why it's not a flawless art form. They don't know where I'm at. I have to find ways of showing them without telling them.
Dude, we're gonna end up where you and I sort of first met. That's where we're gonna end up.
Okay.
With what we're talking about right now.
I don't know if it's the come down or just the conversation, but I don't know how I feel right now.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I can't tell if I'm insecure about talking too much or
not
saying the right things.
Did the bottom just fall out on you?
It didn't fall out, but I'm realizing, it's not it's not cement.
Really? Oh no, everything's going good. Don't Ron Perlman. I almost lost Ron Perlman on here.
He had a heart attack?
No, he just fell into an insecure hole for a minute and it was touch and go.
I don't know if this is an insecure. I think this is just cost of doing business. It's an energy thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Can I tell you where part of it comes from? I'm aware of it.
What?
You just exhaled the same way my doctor did before he told me he doesn't like when I come in, by the way. Let me tell you this quick story.
How often do you go in?
I ask a lot of questions.
Okay, yeah.
I would go to the doctor a lot.
Yeah.
I would get STD checks even if I hadn't had sex since the last time I got one because I was in the doctor's office.
I am a recovering hypochondriac. I understand your plight.
I was asking I had shoulder surgery, and I asked my doctor a question about my shoulder. Mm-hmm. He's not my shoulder doctor, but he's a doctor, and I'm there, and I got some inflammation issues. I got a question, doc.
Sure.
And he goes, what you just did.
He went.
And I said, it seems like you don't really like when I come in here.
Yeah.
And he said, when I come to the door and I see your name is on the clipboard, I do take a breath. And I said, I said, I spend no more than 10 minutes at a time with you. He goes, yeah, but there's too many questions.
Yeah.
A year later, I get this autism diagnosis. I go back to him, I'm basically, like twirling my watch. Yeah. Hello, doctor. And
guess what?
Guess what I found out? He apologized, and he said, that makes so much sense.
Oh.
And since then, I don't see this doctor anymore. But I did for another year plus. And he was so nice to me. And he was talking to me about baseball. I don't watch baseball. I'm not interested in baseball.
Basketball's your thing, right?
Yeah, football? But I also, basketball only, but not so much to where I need to talk.
Your mother's football, right?
My grandma.
Oh, that's your grandma.
Is football. My mom is Andy Griffith.
Okay.
But yeah, he was just so nice. And there is a perfect...
Matlock?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Of an example of expectation where I'm the same guy asking the same questions, but now this guy thinks I'm, whatever he thinks autism is.
Uh-huh.
So now he's like, hey, man, did you see the
right.
I couldn't even think of a baseball. The Dodgers?
Like he likes numbers. The autistic guy, he likes stats.
Yeah. Well, just take my blood and tell me what I have going on with my dick.
Wow. Never had any STDs, did you?
I've had, little things here and there that, nothing that a pill didn't take care of.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Really?
Here's where we animate my dick from 2014, coughing, explaining this. We have to understand it was a different time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But you're still with the girl who lives in England?
Yeah.
Is she in
Betty.
England?
She's in Australia now. She's a dual citizen. Her family lives in Australia. And boy, her arm's tired after she traveled.
Sure, because she had to fly there.
Yeah. Back to the guy who's like, it's working its way back.
It's called back. I get it, man. These guys are pros. When did you move here, though?
2008.
So you came out here to do comedy, kind of?
Came out here to act. I didn't know if it was comedy, but I had...
Had you done any acting training other than the improv
I
group
did
in Cleveland?
theater in college.
You did?
Marketing and theater.
Marketing and theater.
Yeah.
So it's working out for you.
I'm on Marc Maron's What the Fuck podcast talking about acting.
You did, and you did a TV show. And
I got a show coming out later this year, too.
Now you're selling yourself with dicks and goblins.
Did you hear that I got a show coming out this year?
I was going to get to it. I'm a pro. So what's this show you have coming up?
Writing down, ask what the show. It's a Jason Kadam show that he did Parenthood and Friday Night Lights.
Oh.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's an Israeli show called On the Spectrum.
Yeah.
And they're remaking it for Amazon. I don't know if it's going to be called On the Spectrum.
What's that
It's about a couple of football players who just fuck girls all day, every day.
Weird name for a show about that.
It's 3 autistic roommates who are finding ways of learning how to live life independently with jobs.